never know who's
But that,
looking, filming, staring, gonna follow you to the parking lot. Like, it's
Yep.
kind of
exactly.
can be kind of
And
scary.
and they've told me stories where they felt, in fear where sometimes they would have to wear that little beeper that the gym does provide, which is great because they didn't
Well, that's
feel comfortable
cool.
just going to the car. But that is really great that you have that community there where they feel safe, and not have to worry about any creepers like Omar. Sorry.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, don't label him in that category.
Sorry. It was just there and I took it. I'm sorry. Omar,
I
it's
knew he
not
was.
that. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Discipline and drive, personal trainer mindset, helping you thrive. Raise a glass, let's level up your health. This is cheers to health.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Cheers to Health. Of course, you got to have Brian, that bad man with the mustache curling and twirling, whatever it's doing. Brian Torres. And of course, I got to have Omar DJ. I don't know if you still go by DJ Skits, but Omar Torres is in the building. And we've got
That's
a
right.
special guest today, ladies and gentlemen. Omar, if you wouldn't mind doing the honors for us and introducing our guests for today.
Of course. Today we have Katarina Hill. She is a mother, a trainer, and gym owner. Plus, she digs into a little more stuff about, certain illnesses to help people. So it's going to be interesting talking to her and seeing what she has to offer at her gym and, as a services as a trainer. So without further ado, please tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you for the hype welcome. I love that. Like you said, my name's Katarina. I've been a trainer now for a few years. I actually quit my corporate job back in 2023 to kind of quit the rat race, so to speak. I wanted to give myself and my kid more time with each other, with our life. And so I really took a leap of faith and started training. And so it's kind of taken off. That's my full-time job. I've been able to fully support myself. I cleared my salary that I was making at Paycom within the first year, which is really awesome. A lot of people get really scared to believe in themselves. And so a part of my mission and a lot of the things that I share online is all about that, just about, the importance of believing in yourself. So I took that chance and actually opened a gym at the beginning of this year. It's a little private training studio space that I'm trying to cultivate into a membership based space that is more community driven. I feel like, especially here in the Oklahoma City area, we lack a culture of inclusivity a lot of the times in the health and wellness space. You're kind of either all in or all out. And that kind of middle ground gets overlooked a lot. And I want to encourage that middle spot because that's where most people hang out in their relationship with fitness. Most people don't have, 5 hours a week or more to dedicate into the gym. Mostly it's around 1 to 3 hours a week to dedicate to exercise. And if you're not in the club, then it's really hard to find a community. It's like bodybuilding, CrossFit, which is great. We love those. And then you kind of just have running, biking, but then you don't really have I kind of sometimes like to lift weights, but then I like to maybe do yoga or I maybe like to go biking.
Yep.
So how can we cultivate a more welcoming space, especially around women and especially around chronic illness, which is something that I wanted to talk on and touch on today.
Love it.
Yeah.
That was really long-winded. Sorry, guys. I'm a
No, you're
yawner.
good. You're good.
Bring it on. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, what made you make that transition from, corporate job to fitness trainer? Like, what was the thing that you were like, oh shoot, I can do that?
To be completely honest, I hated my life at that point. I felt like there was nothing about the corporate role that was doing anything for anybody else other than making people money. Every day I went in, it was kind of soul sucking. And I don't know if you guys are believers, but that's kind of a foundational aspect of my life as well. And I felt like I wasn't able to really fulfill my mission in helping people, teach people. That's kind of where I feel that I'm led. And going to work every day miserable is such a horrible feeling. And I believed in myself so much that I knew that no matter what, either I would get another job, corporate life, maybe somewhere else, or I was going to wait tables. I really didn't care. I wanted to just get out of there. And thankfully I found clients really fast who, believed in me and I believed in them. And so I still have those core foundational clients all this time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
Katarina. Love that.
that's
Love
right.
that. That's
That's how
awesome. Yes.
that's how you
Yeah.
know you're a good trainer is when,
Yep.
they stick around for that long haul. They believe in you and what you're doing. So awesome. Good
Yeah,
job.
I love
Yes,
them. They
especially at
are the
first.
foundation of everything.
Yeah. So, okay, going through that and then you open a gym. What made you do that move?
Yeah, so in that, I was training at a few of the big box gyms here in Oklahoma City, and I kept noticing the same trend, which was overwhelming, crowded. When you get with a trainer, it's a little less scary because you have somebody there, but like I'm not with you all the time. I'm not with you every time you go to the gym, and so it's really big. It's really crowded, and we don't have like I said, we don't have a lot of those in between spaces. And so I found a small personal training gym here in the city, and I made that transition with my clients, and it was working for a while, but it was still kind of limited in the fact that it was owned by somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and I was unable to structure things the way I wanted, host group fitness classes if I wanted, and expand my clientele in a more professional way because the gym setting at that other location was kind of just outdated, kind of dingy. And I just wanted to kind of bring something fresh and new and exciting and feel more confident and bringing a more elevated kind of clientele to this space. I'm also working on becoming a registered dietitian, and so that's obviously a place where you want to be able to bring people like in more clinical setting. And so that's kind of the long-term aspect of the gym space. But I wanted to create something that generates money when I'm not having to work. Obviously, I feel like that's kind of the goal. And in doing that, I wanted to build a space intentionally because we can't pretend that money doesn't exist. But I didn't build the gym to make like $1 million, right? I definitely built it very personally and for my own
Katarina,
use.
stop
Yeah.
lying. Stop lying. Okay, you know you wanted to make that big money.
It happens, it
I mean, yeah,
happens.
don't we all want to make big money? Yeah, but
I'm
I'm
But
kidding.
that
I
not
hear
sure
you.
wasn't the
if
number
this
one
will be
goal.
it. Maybe it will
I
be,
hear
but
you.
so
No
yeah,
deal.
I wanted to open a space where people walk in and they don't automatically get that like kind of anxious pit in their stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have men that come as well, but obviously I would say that we cater majority to women just
Yep.
because that's typically who kind of struggles to find their way
Yep.
through the gym. Most guys, they have a little bit more confidence or they find maybe a clique or friend.
Yep.
It's a lot more different for women, and it's a lot more intimate and vulnerable typically for women.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I've
Oh, I can
noticed that
see
a
that.
lot with, because I work out with some ladies, my cousins who, if I don't feel like if I was there, they would feel as comfortable because, I mean, there's a lot of men there. I mean,
Yeah.
what is that? Damn near 90-10 ratio,
Yep. And you
So,
never know who's
but that
looking, filming, staring, gonna follow you to the parking lot. Like
Yep.
exactly.
it can be kind of
And
scary.
and they've told me stories where they felt, in fear where sometimes they would have to wear that little beeper that the gym does provide, which is great because they didn't
Well,
feel
that's
comfortable
cool.
just going to the car because they thought somebody was following. So that is really great that you have that community there where they feel safe, and not have to worry about any creepers like, oh my, sorry,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey,
sorry,
don't label him in that category.
sorry. It was just there and I
See,
took
he
it. I'm
just he
sorry.
just I
Omar, it's
knew he
not
was
that. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
should have he knew that was coming. No, but that's awesome because that's what
Yeah.
we try to promote as well is you don't have to be somebody that's a bodybuilder or a power lifter or anything like that. Just somebody
Mhm.
that wants to be healthy, be active, do
Absolutely.
something. We want to just give them either tips, pointers, any kind of advice to feel a little bit better about going to the gym, even or
Hmm.
just doing anything that one of our guests might relate to.
I
So
love
Absolutely.
that.
that's awesome. That's awesome that you do
Thank
that.
you.
Especially yeah, cause my wife, she feels the same way sometimes. She doesn't feel comfortable going to the gym. She's fortunate to be, a military member, so on base it's not as scary, but going outside of that, it can be a little bit scary. I mean, you hear so many and she listens to all those dang what's it called? The, murder mystery
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I had to
Yeah.
stop watching all that. It was giving me
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll get you. They'll get you.
So, yeah, all that stuff will get you, and you start thinking the worst, and, of course,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Mhm.
pile on, so you're not gonna feel comfortable. But, yeah, that's awesome that you have something like that. I
Thank
didn't know
you.
that gyms did that either, though, Brian. They
I
got the
didn't
little
either.
beeper.
No, they do. They do. It's like a little beeper where if you feel like for whatever reason you don't feel safe going to your car, because they're open 24/7. So there's sometimes where you show up, maybe somebody will show up like at 10 p.m. or at 1 a.m. when nobody's really around, but somebody else might be there where you just don't feel safe going to your car. So they have a little beeper there. So if you can take that to the car with you, and then when you come back next time, just put it back. But if for whatever you do feel unsafe, you can just hit that little beeper, and then it'll ring the alarms for the
Oh, well.
security, or not security, but police to show
That's
up.
awesome.
Yeah, which I think it is really great.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, and sometimes, I know whenever I was working at, like, later, there was somebody that was coming out that I knew, they were a lady, I'd ask them, I was like, "Hey, man," or, "Hey, do you want me to help you out to your car," or blah, blah, or they'd even
That's a
ask
woman.
me, like,
That's a woman. You say yes, ma'am.
"Lady?" Yeah, I'm not good at
Sorry.
that stuff. No, I'm just playing. No, but yeah, but either way, I mean, even for other people out there, um, just making people feel more comfortable about
Absolutely.
going to the gym,
Mhm.
in and out, because yeah, there are weirdos out there.
Absolutely.
Yep,
Unfortunately,
definitely.
it's they're out there,
Everywhere.
and we can only do so much. But yeah, so going into that, what are like some of the biggest challenges that you've come through, with all this, starting up your gym?
I would definitely say support. When you start a business, when you change your life, when you have a kid, maybe when you get married, when you make really big life changes, I think it really shows you who is in your corner and
Absolutely.
who's going to be a foundational member of your life and of your journey.
Mhm.
And so one of the biggest struggles was navigating that and trying to figure out who really shows up for you when they mean it and who's
Mhm.
willing to kind of be there through the thick of the growth. Besides the kind of relational aspect, I would say it was hardest part. I don't know. I think that was probably it. I think it was the relational aspect,
Yeah.
honestly.
That's a good point. Especially if it's something that you really believe in and they don't want to get behind you on that. That's hard to
Absolutely.
take, but
Mhm.
you still got to go with what you want to do in the long run. So Brian, I want to say thank you for, sticking through this with me and still going through.
Heck yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
but yeah, me and Brian, we've
Well,
been
Whirlwind.
rolling on this.
I feel the same way because I've made a huge transition career-wise as well. I had a 9 to 5, as you would say, and I've kind of jumped off on my own, but I went to a different well, maybe still corporate-wise, but going to an insurance company where I was more so self-employed. And so just making that leap, it is kind of scary, unknown, and you don't know what to expect. And you do find out who's there for you, through the hard stuff, and who does support you and who doesn't, and it sucks sometimes to find out who's not there for you, but it's really great
Yeah.
to see who is there for you as well, and to really know who is your, like, who's your brother. Like Omar is my brother, not only biologically, but also like he is like he's my best friend. So shout out to Omar.
I love
Can we stop this? This isn't what this podcast is
Yeah,
about. Okay,
dude, knock
we're
it
not
off.
friends.
Knock it off.
I bring out the best in people. What can I say? It's
Hey,
simple.
Yeah, where'd this come from, dude? What is going on right
we need to
now?
stop.
I'm the light. What can I say?
There we go. Come on, Katrina.
No, but the reason I wanted to have you on was, well, one of the biggest reason was because the way that you post things online, it's to help people. A lot of people,
Mhm.
will post things on trying to get a sale or something like that as a trainer, just like, come train with me, blah blah blah. With you, it's more about being more informative, showing that, okay, if you don't train with me, at least, sign up for this, I'll give you information. I think, yeah,
Oh,
you
that's
were
great.
one that inspired me to do email thing, because I saw you did
Oh,
like a newsletter.
yay.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, that's a great idea, dude."
You better,
Yeah.
So
It is
uh,
yeah,
you
people's
better give
creative
her her
outlet.
cut. You better give her her cut.
still
Dang.
working on it. Still working on it. But no, yeah, you don't even know. Like I tell Brian, we don't really notice those things unless somebody says it. So we could be, inspiring somebody or give them some kind of help, and we don't know, and we don't really care about the acknowledgement part. It's just
No.
about being able to help somebody in any kind of way. And with you, I see that one of the things that you kind of highlight, or that you really highlight, is the POTS, and EDS, and I think there was something else. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So for those who don't know, POTS is an autonomic nervous system problem that affects kind of your heart rate and your ability to, I would say, function a normal kind of everyday life. It's something that is classified as a chronic illness. It's also something that's more classified as a group of symptoms more than an official disease, like a tumor or thyroid problem or something like diabetes, where it's exactly tangible and you can pinpoint and treat, a problem. It's a multitude of symptoms that kind of come together to impact people's lives, their ability to work, live a healthy life, exercise, grocery shop, even take a shower. And then alongside that, you mentioned EDS, which is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a form of a connective tissue disorder. There are, I think, 14 different types of EDS. So I mostly touch on just the hypermobile part. That's the part that impacts me. It's given me a lot of trouble. I've had a hole in my retina. I've had 2 inguinal hernias and
Oh,
things
wow.
like that because of, the Ehlers-Danlos. But I post because a lot of people um, take a diagnosis or health problems and they let it define them, they let it control their life, and they really let it impact their entire existence. And you see a lot of people, unfortunately, with POTS. They're very overweight or they're very unhealthy, like the opposite end of that, which, they can't keep any weight on. And I want to promote that you can find a healthy balance and relationship regardless of where you're at with your health journey. I personally haven't experienced the obesity aspect, but I have experienced the extreme underweight portion. I've experienced being unable to exercise, unable to move, being in severe chronic pain. And so I try to promote things that teach people that our bodies are capable, they're just different. And so
Mhm.
you have to just start a little bit slower. You have to give yourself grace. But the biggest portion of that whole thing is actually advocacy for health. I would
Mhm.
say, aside from being a personal trainer, I would label myself as a health advocate. Um, I don't know if you've had I don't know if I would say privilege because it's kind of heartbreaking, but the privilege to read the comments in my posts of some of the things that I share. But it's heartbreaking. The women and some men, but mostly women who feel so unsupported and unseen, who struggle every single day with their life because no one
Mhm.
believes them. The medical gaslighting, the dismissal, the labels that they place on us, anxiety, depression. I mean, they're just willing to throw so many pills at us instead of
Yep.
listening
Yep.
and helping us get to a root cause. It took me 6 doctors for somebody to repair a hernia, which is a proven medical diagnosis, right?
Yep.
Where most men, they get it instantly, but for me as a woman, it's a rare occurrence. And so that's a big aspect that I
Oh, wow.
post about as well, which
Yeah.
is inguinal hernias, because women don't ever get support for that. And I've had a lot of engagement around hernias, believe it or not. It's such a random topic.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but a lot of people, they get their gallbladder mistakenly taken out. They get put on all
Yep.
kinds of antidepressants and anxiety medication. They get hooked on pain pills. They're in therapy thinking that they're delusional, all from inguinal hernias
Yeah.
because they just get dismissed over and over because it causes severe pain and GI issues. I was told I had Crohn's disease and
Yep.
IBS, and uh, it was just inguinal hernias.
Oh,
Yeah. And
wow.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so I am very big on women advocating, and if you don't feel heard or supported, you have to find another doctor. I don't
Yep.
care how many times it takes. I don't care how many times they work for you. They are there to help you, and if you aren't getting help, then you got to move on. There are thousands of doctors waiting and able to help. So you just have to keep like finding support.
Absolutely. And
Yep,
that's just
that's what I
crazy
always
to
tell
me.
my people too. I tell
That's
my
just
people, "You're
crazy.
your own advocate." Like,
Mhm.
if you don't feel like the doctor's doing it right or not explaining something properly, or you don't feel like they're doing what they're supposed to accurately, then you need to, see somebody else or keep asking or find another way to, get that figured out because it's your body. Like,
Yep.
Absolutely.
you
Man,
only
that's
got one
crazy.
of it, so you better take care of it.
Yeah, and you are with it all the time.
Mm.
A doctor that spends
Exactly.
2 minutes, 5 minutes with you, not even listening to you those 5 minutes, typing on their
Mhm.
computer. They don't care. They don't know. They're not there really to help you.
Yep,
Yeah.
and that's what I tell my people whenever I train. I'm like, "Hey, man, you know your body better than I do, so"
Yeah.
let me know if, if this is going too far, like, because everybody's different, like you're saying. Everybody's different on how they recover, excuse me, how they, progress and stuff like that. So just got to be mindful of that and be
And
aware.
that sucks too because, like I said, doctors are just very generic. Like, okay, well, this is you're here, you're feeling this way. This is where your category we're going to put you in, and you're going to take this. When you come back, okay, we're going to put you in this category. You're going to take this, and then
Yep.
I feel like they just keep going back and forth. Like, okay, well, now this is this. We're going to get when they don't really actually diagnose the issue there, which sucks because we used to feel like, oh, we're going to the doctor, they can help us, they can do this, but now it's just like, man, we can't even really trust the doctor because all they're doing is pushing these pills at us like this because I've had to tell them numerous times, hey, I don't want no drugs. Just help me understand what's going on here.
Yep.
Because I kept saying, no, you just need to double up on this. No, you need this. No, 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 no. No, I don't want the drugs. Just help me
Have you
understand
tried
what
this new one that the drug rep just dropped off last week?
exactly. Yep. No, I haven't. I'm not going to. So
Exactly.
baby check. Which is just
Yep.
And that's
it just blows my mind that that's what we're at right now, and that we had to
yeah,
Mhm.
do so much homework and the stuff that the doctors
that's true.
allegedly went to school for, now we're having to try to do this for them so we can go tell them like, "No, this is what we got going on here. This is what I need. This is how we're gonna do it. Are you in or you out? You're out? Okay, next doctor."
Yep.
Until they
Yeah.
finally, "Okay, you know what? This is right. Okay, let's do this. Let's do look at this. Let's like, now we're on the right same page and we're heading in the right direction to get it fixed, which just blows my mind till this day that this is where we're at.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
basically drug to symptom.
Yep.
yeah. I don't want to completely poop on doctors though,
I'm
because I
pooping on
mean
you.
No.
there's
I
like
am.
a general there's like a general I mean, they
I would
can't know
say like
everything.
surgeons, emergent care, things like that. Obviously, we do need doctors.
Yeah,
I have had very incredible doctors. I've had amazing people help me throughout this health journey.
you got an
And a
HR guy there.
neurologist was one that gave me the kind of puzzle pieces to get an official diagnosis going. So I definitely don't like poop on all doctors. We do need them in some aspects, but I think like it's not the doctor because I personally have a great relationship outside of like treatment with a few doctors, and
Mhm.
they're great people. I think it's really the system. If you look at how they believe and what they talk to me about, it's always they're venting to me personally about the same problems that you're venting to me about. They feel like they don't have enough time. They feel like they're overworked. They feel like they are not actually doing the things that they went to medical school to help people for, They
That's
are
true.
pressured by admin. They're pressured to get payback from pharmaceuticals
Yep.
to see certain client loads. Even if a doctor does not want to see more than maybe 10 people, they don't get to pick their schedule. Like, they don't actually have as much free reign as people want to give them credit for. They're honestly just a bigger part of another cog in the machine,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like to keep people sick so that we can keep people down, in my opinion.
and
I can
make
see
more
that.
money.
Exactly. It's all about money. It has nothing to do about helping
Yep,
people.
I think
yep.
there needs to be more nutritional education in the doctor's curriculum
Yep.
because once you get that down, you're gonna be like, "Oh, shoot." But like you said, they gotta follow a certain protocol to make sure they push out whatever needs
Mhm.
to be pushed out.
Yep.
Because yeah,
But it
it's
goes
a big
back to
old
also like we're saying here, you know your body, you know kind of what you want, and it's all about we got to do our own research too. If you feel like that one pill is going to help you, I'm not going to stop you, but let's do some research on it first. Let's see what this is because a lot of times the side effects, I'm not sure you want to do that if you're going to have all these other 20,000 side effects with it. Let's see
I
yeah.
what
agree.
other options we have and do our research and see what we got moving forward. And is this really the drug that we need to fix a symptom? Or is this just
Right.
something that they think that is going to fix? Are they just putting us in a general section there? Because like I said, I've had
Right.
to go to the doctor a few times where I'm just like, I'm straight. Like I take what I'm going to do it myself because these drugs that you keep feeding me, I'm out. I'm out. I don't feel like they're making me cuckoo and I'm out. So I
Yep.
got it from here.
Yeah, I agree, especially because, a lot of the times, most providers, unfortunately, they don't even know the ingredients of the
Hmm.
things that they're recommending. Pills, vaccinations, all of it. I mean, most
Yep.
physicians, doctors, nurses, whatever category of health provider, they don't know factually the ingredients. They just kind of know that it was deemed safe and that this is what it's supposed to treat and it might cause these specific symptoms. And so I agree with you. I think researching and knowing exactly what you're putting in your body. I have a lot of things where I feel like medication is obviously either life-saving,
Yeah.
right? Diabetics,
Yeah.
thyroid, things like that. But there are a lot of times, especially in the new age of health, where we have a supplement, or I don't know, I'm not really super familiar with the peptides, but I would even be more prone to like injecting myself with a peptide than I would probably to take a pharmaceutical for
Mhm.
some
No, and
things.
I hear you. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true. Cause yeah, shoot, there's so many stuff out there. I think yeah, I was talking to my wife. We were watching a commercial, and it seemed like they were just coming up with different illnesses on the commercial. I was like,
They just
what
list
is
off the
that?
craziest stuff. I'm like, we needed a pill for this? What the heck?
What is that?
And at the end, it's just like they try to cover up with some music in the background. Hey, hold on. What are you saying there?
The
Was some
little
dude
feel
just
good
being
the little
happy as
feel
can be?
good guys.
Yeah.
What
The guys in the
the
back just chilling like, "Oh, we're cool, bro." Like, but it's longer than the commercial.
Like this could yeah. Sheesh.
And then you're
Oh,
like,
come
"I
on.
could get all those symptoms from one pill? Hmm.
It's
Sign me
not
up.
worth it.
Yeah, I love it. Where do I get that?"
Jeez, that's wild. See, and when we talk about POTS, so that's actually I don't know why, but it's been like more common, or is it just something that's been, I guess, more brought to attention to everybody?
Um,
Because we had another trainer actually, and she has that as well, and she was going into it a little bit. Didn't go too far in
Mhm.
depth on everything, but yeah, she was saying the same things. Like she'd get tired very frequently.
Making sure you
And
ate.
she had to, like, take a lot of breaks and
Yeah.
snacks and stuff like that or for whatever, I forgot exactly. But sheesh,
Just
dude.
knowing your
Like,
body
if you
is what's
don't
just
diagnose that, you could probably think of it could be something else.
Mhm.
yeah. Something that I wanted to mention, you said being tired, is your ferritin level. An old school methodology that's still being practiced is only looking at one form of iron, and most women have extremely low ferritin, which is your storage reserves. But most doctors only look at hemoglobin, which is the readily available iron, like your red blood cells. And if it's normal, they say, oh, can't be anemic, and they don't investigate any further. And what we're finding and what I'm seeing and what the research is now showing is that a lot of women have extremely low ferritin with normal
Oh,
hemoglobin.
wow.
So going back to doctors, I think that they pride themselves on continued education with medication, but not with like health.
Mm.
So, and I think that's where what's happening right now. So I don't think that we necessarily have an influx of POTS diagnosis. I think that we are just now finally getting enough advocacy and information out there that women are finally able to put a name, to it. Like they're able to
Mhm.
ask for the tests. They're able to finally feel like they're not crazy. When I first started getting symptoms, I was 18, and it started with tachycardia. And I got labeled as anxiety. That was my diagnosis in the
Mm.
chart. And I was like, I don't feel like I mean, yeah, of course, I feel anxious sometimes. I'm very familiar with what, like, that feeling is, but when I'm getting my tachycardia, I'm like, I'm just kinda sitting there though.
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea. I was like, "Okay, yeah, I must be anxious." So, went to therapy, tried that, tried breathing, tried exercise, tried all these things, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and I was like, "Huh." And so I kinda got into this weird, like, I don't know, remission point where it's kind of managing it, but mostly not because I wasn't asking my body to do much. I wasn't exercising. This is before I had a kid. So I was kind of just, I went to work and then I slept, and I went to work and I slept. I wasn't really like doing a whole lot. Once I started asking my body to produce more energy, exercise, go out, I turned 21, I wanted to start drinking, doing all the fun things of life. It just kind of slowly started going downhill, and I just turned 31 a couple weeks ago. So I had my first hernia surgery at like 28. And that was kind of the start of figuring out, well, why do I even have a hernia to begin with? Like, is this the root of
Mhm.
all my problems, or is this just like a symptom? So that was kind of the catalyst of like, well, okay, you have Ehlers-Danlos. I have something called Chiari malformation as well, which is a brainstem skull condition, but it's a comorbid disease. So Ehlers-Danlos, POTS,
Yeah.
Chiari malformation. You hear fibromyalgia, that's a really common one. You can even group some of this into MS, multiple sclerosis. It's kind of scary, but
Yeah.
the autonomic nervous system kind of falls under all of those as a diagnostic criteria. And so, yeah, I think the internet has helped a lot in a lot of cool ways. While we talk crap and it can be detrimental, I try to look and use the internet for positivity and to try to
There you
help,
go.
which I think
Absolutely.
is the is the only way to navigate the
Yeah.
internet
Yep.
safely in 2026, or else you're like gonna go crazy.
Yep.
So I think us talking about it and spreading awareness, I just want you guys to go read the comments after this, because I feel like every time I tell people to go read the comments, they're like, what the heck? It's very eye-opening. If you just
Mhm.
scroll like maybe like 2 or 3 posts, hundreds, you guys, hundreds of comments. My gosh, I thought I was the only one. Oh my gosh, I can't get a doctor to listen to me. Oh my gosh, I've been called crazy my whole life. Oh my gosh, like it's just
No, and
over and
absolutely.
over and over and over. So,
I feel like I already, have some people who come to mind whenever you're saying exactly what you're saying because they've been telling me the same thing. Like these doctors are saying, like I'm making this stuff up, I'm crazy, I
mhm,
need to do this, I need to do that. When I know, like, and they find small things that they'll be, oh well, maybe you have this, but like no, no, this is
Mm.
it's just mind blowing to me, and I'm so happy and so proud of you for being that person to speak up for them because I mean I could try to but you're like dude
oh
you're a dude
thanks.
you can't do that but shout out to you for
But
doing that.
hey, we need men advocates too, because I have a few men that I message back and forth that are
Mhm.
having the same issue. There's one with inguinal hernias right now that keeps getting the runaround, the
Yeah,
dismissal. And so men need advocates too. I told him the same thing. I said, you should post content and be an advocate and show that men get
absolutely.
gaslit and dismissed, because if we start as a whole, like calling this out, and we're the only people that are gonna, create the change. We're the people that have to be the voices.
Absolutely,
Oh yeah,
yes.
for sure. Sheesh.
And that is
And
awesome,
with
I
that,
love that.
yeah. What kind of challenges or, even like mental battles do you have to go through and how do you navigate those issues? Like how do you manage them?
Mental challenges. So definitely have had my fair share of mental challenges. That's actually what started my journey with fitness to begin with, was postpartum depression. I had my daughter
Mhm.
when I was 24, and I was really lonely. I'm not from Oklahoma. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any family. I kind of just got dropped off here due to her dad. And so I just was kind of existing. She was a colicky baby, if anyone's familiar with that term. Just means she cried all the time. And it kind of put me in a spiral. I had never experienced true depression before. And so I didn't even know really what to look for. You think it's going to be like noticeable. You think I could never allow myself, like, I would get help, but like when you're in the thick of it, you don't even realize that you feel so bad. It wasn't to the point of, fortunately for me, like suicide or harming my daughter, but I would say it got pretty close.
Mhm.
And that's not something that I, want to say lightly, because I feel like it's
Yeah,
important for women to feel seen about that too. Like it's okay to admit that you are going through a hard time and that things were hard. And so I went to the doctor, and I'm kind of like you, Brian. I'm not very much about drugs.
yeah.
And I was
Mhm.
breastfeeding at the time. So I didn't really, there are deemed safe for pharmaceuticals for breastfeeding, but personally just wasn't comfortable with that. And so I said, let's start with some more natural options. Like, what can we do? So I tried a topical progesterone cream, and then she said, you need to do an outlet for yourself. Like, have you been to the gym? Do you work out? And I was like, nah, that ain't for me. That's not really like,
Ain't
that's not
about
really
that
something I do. She's like, you should. And I was like, okay. I was always kind of like skinny fat, like I never
yeah.
really needed to work out. I've always been kind of thin naturally because I eat pretty clean. But just no muscle and definitely no confidence in that area at all. So I started at a little big box gym. There was only one right before COVID that had childcare, and I started doing little group fitness classes, and I just really found myself again. I was able to drop her off for like an hour, hour and a half at a time, and it gave me that little bit of break that I needed to be
Mhm.
like, who's Katarina again? Wait,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
okay, like I'm taking care of this baby all the
Come
time.
on.
She's good, but like, who am I and what do I want? And I was
Come
like,
on.
okay, cool. Fitness is great.
Yep.
This is cool. And so I just started doing group fitness, and then COVID happened. All the gyms
Mhm.
shut down except for CrossFit gyms. They were the only ones that stayed open. I don't know if you guys know that, but
I
you
didn't
could
know
I
that.
find
know
a
that.
bunch of CrossFit gyms because they were like, we don't believe in COVID. So they kept all the gyms open, and that is actually how I was introduced into like the full realm of fitness. I got like just thrown in the deep end of Olympic lifting, and I got kind of grouped into coaching after you've been there for a
Come
while. They're
on.
like, you got it. And so
Yep.
I kind of just I fell in love with the energy and the community aspect. I did not fall in love with CrossFit.
Like, no, thank
It
you.
Yeah,
has a very high
it's
entry
a tough
rate,
one.
which
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, definitely exercise is, like, the biggest thing that I preach and encourage, not just for women, but for any man who is going through, depression, anxiety, even a
Absolutely.
sad or hard time, even good times. You have to
Absolutely.
move your body, like,
Yep.
your body craves energy outlets, and it doesn't have to be, hard. It doesn't have to be, like, this whole thing. You can move your body sitting down. You can move your body, at
Going
home in
for
a
a walk.
small way if you can get off the couch. Like, there are ways to get exercise and movement gently
Mhm.
or hardcore if you want, and all kinds. Biking, running, walking. Like, I'm a
Yep.
very big advocate on we want to lift weights, but get outside,
Yeah,
go move your
absolutely.
body too.
Yep. Yep.
And then I meditate. That's another way. Like, meditate, pray. I don't,
Come on,
I feel like it's
come
one
on.
and the same for me. But I try to practice a lot of mindfulness. What I struggle with, what is it called? Like, I'm having a brain fart. Where you basically repeat the same thing in your head over and over again. What
Oh,
is that called?
ruminate.
Ruminate. Yeah,
Ruminating.
I struggle with rumination.
Okay, yeah.
And so something that helps a lot is trying to train your brain through affirmations. So
Yep.
anytime
Yep.
I start to ruminate, it's typically a false rumination. So we can break that pattern by encouraging rumination over positivity. So if I just go,
Absolutely.
I'm abundant, I'm successful, I'm amazing,
Yep.
I'm healthy, I'm
Come on.
positive, like whatever it is, I'm successful, whatever things you could think of, and that
Yep.
helps a ton if I'm going through a hard time.
I
I
love
do
that.
arts and crafts, and I sleep.
Yep. Yes,
No,
yes,
So
that's
yes.
most
I
yeah.
love
nights is a good nap.
I love that. I
No,
love
there
the
ain't no
positive
wrong with that.
affirmations for you, for anybody. Like we just spoke to this young man earlier about that, and he told his kids every day, positive affirmations, and that's something we don't really. I don't feel like we, really take into, especially for our kids. We tend to get onto them, and they might be a bad boy right then and there, and they might go to the room and think like, oh, great, now I'm a bad kid. I did this, I did that wrong.
Mhm.
But it's reassuring that no, you did that bad thing. That's okay, but you're still strong. You're still smart. You're still kind. You're still all this great stuff. Okay, so just reinforcing those positive affirmations, which I love to hear. Which kudos to you for that. Something I need to
Hey.
work on myself is just giving myself more of those positive affirmations. Is
Yep.
so great to hear.
A
No,
nice reframe too if you have kids. I don't know if you have kids, but instead of like ever like shaming them, you could just say, "You're better than that. You're so smart. Come
I do
on."
that.
Yep,
Yeah.
I do
yep,
that.
That's what we obviously
love that.
I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but that's the reframe
Yep,
that we try to do in our house is you're better than that. We can do better than
yep,
that. Or like, if you're having a hard time, mostly I just go, "Do you want a hug? You need a hug
yep.
right now?" And most of the time that fixes everything. Most people just need a
Absolutely,
hug. I mean,
absolutely.
especially your kids. Like,
Yeah,
even if they're having a hard time and you don't want to hug them, you probably should just hug them.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
That's what I do with my middle one. I got 3 kids,
Hey,
and my middle
hey,
one, he gets a little
back off my boy. You back off my
he
boy,
gets a little
dude.
crazy, okay?
Yeah,
So
back off,
and
man.
then
That's that
he
middle
gets these
child.
these moods. He gets
That's that
these
middle child.
moods,
Yeah, no,
and
hard life.
whenever he has those moods, if he's in a bad attitude or a mood or whatever it is, I just tackle him, I give him a big old hug, and then just play wrestle with him, and then he'll turn around like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
it's alright,
Yep,
bud."
fixes it.
But no,
I
that's
love
yeah, that's like building that environment. It's like with anything, just making sure it's a positive one. Yeah, like you said, we're gonna make mistakes. We're not perfect, but we'll learn and we'll do
Absolutely.
better.
I love
Uh,
our generation of parenting. I just love it. I feel like we are changing so much with the way that we show up for our kids, our parents, and
Absolutely.
even their parents didn't show up for them. They didn't show up for us. Like,
Absolutely.
there are people that have really amazing parents, obviously, that are our age, but most of the time they're like, my parents didn't really play with me, or like, I don't really see my dad very much, or like, like I don't really have that great of a relationship, with my parents. But I feel like our kids are getting such a cool refresh of having parents that play
Mm-hmm.
with them, having parents that are emotionally regulated and intelligent and setting up success for them and thinking about their future in a different
yeah,
way.
that's true. That's true. And being more or yeah, being more open and communicating.
Hmm.
Because for me personally, I didn't feel comfortable saying certain things to my parents, whether it was because I thought I was gonna get in trouble or I just didn't feel comfortable. And that's what I tell my boys. I'm fortunate enough to take them to school. or bring home from school, and that's like a great time to just talk. Like, hey, what went
Absolutely.
down? Just
Yep.
keep bugging 'em. Yeah, they're gonna say, "Oh, I don't know," or "I don't remember." Like, that's the
Yeah.
common one, like, "Oh, I don't remember," and I'll
Oh.
mess with them. I'll be like, "Oh, you got abducted by aliens?" Like, "What happened?" But no, it
So
just
for 8 hours, you don't remember nothing? Dang.
seriously,
But I usually get
seriously, what
them
are
to
they
break
doing
it.
over there?
My little nephews, my nieces, hey, who's that girl you was talking to earlier, man? Like, I seen you thinking I didn't see them, but I'm like, hey, who you talking? Like, nah, so what'd you do today then? Huh? What were you
Mhm,
doing? And that's when they
mhm.
start saying, okay, this is what I was doing. Like, so you just got to break them out of something that they're not
Yeah,
used to. Like, because their parents usually ain't going to say, like, hey, you got a girlfriend? Like, but Uncle B's going to be like, hey, bro, who's that girl you was
that's
talking
right,
to? I seen you
that's
out
right.
there.
They gotta be
Come
blunt.
on. Yeah. And like,
That's
no,
true.
I was doing this. I was, and then that's when they start spilling the bean, what they were learning and stuff like that. So it just maybe something you could do, Omar. Like, hey, Easton,
No, yeah, that
Nav, I seen
like I
you out
said
there. Break it in, and they're like, "What? Where's this coming from?" No, no, Dad, I was doing this. We learned how to do this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, now we're talking.
uh-huh. No, yeah, and that they do start well, now I don't even have to ask them. It's just, like, automatic. When they get in the car or truck, whatever, they're like, "Oh, yeah, today we did this, blah, blah, blah," and then
Good.
they'll,
I'm
like,
glad.
argue about who's gonna say what. Like, "Dude,
Yeah, that's
take
good,
take
man.
turns.
I
Run out of
love that.
time."
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why but it's important, okay, to,
Hmm.
have that communication, being open and not being so judgy. Like, they do something that you don't agree with, just explain it to them, like,
Because
why it's wrong or what's
Katarina,
happening or,
me and
maybe
Omar
they
used
got
to
some
ride the bus together, and I would always try to tell Omar about my day, and he would say, "Shut up, nerd," and
I did say that once.
I'm like,
I said
"Omar,
that once, dude.
I'm just trying to tell
You're
you
the
about my
younger
day."
brother or the older brother?
I'm the younger one.
Ah,
I
Yeah.
know
aha.
That
because I'm so big, I look like the older brother, but I'm the younger brother.
Come
But
on, dude.
so I would always try to go to my big brother, and say, "Hey, Bubba,
Yeah.
like this is what I did today." And he'd be like, "Beat it, nerd, to the front of the bus."
I
I'm
did
like,
say that. I
"Yes,
think it was
sir."
2 times I said that.
Aw.
So it's
If
good to
anybody was
have
gonna bully him, it was
interaction
gonna be
with.
me.
Hey, back off now. It's good because, like I said, a lot of times they want to tell us. They want to tell their parents. They wanna do that, but they don't feel like they can because their parents are too busy. Maybe they're mad, maybe they're just watching TV. We're like, "Oh, I don't wanna mess with," they're watching TV or doing that or cooking. But no, if you're cooking, if you're doing something, like, "Hey, come here, man. How's your day been? What did you get into today?" So that's really cool that you guys do that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
When it comes to training people, how would you help somebody out that's going through the same issues as you are when it comes to training? Like maybe they want to just get started. How would you go about like explain it to them? Like, okay, we got to go slow and steady, or what would be the process?
Yeah. So I would say that that's kind of my like specialty, and what probably most personal trainers train are beginners. Most people aren't experienced seeking
Mhm.
out personal training, especially for the long term. Um, I actually specialize in corrective exercise, so my training techniques are just a little bit different than a more like traditional personal trainer, but I think the foundation would be the same, which is always slow and steady. I think that the biggest like issue that anybody faces is consistency and their ability to show up anyway. So if you are not feeling good, if you feel like you can't give 100%, if you feel like you can't give an hour, if you feel like crap that day, if you're tired, if you're mad, if you're sad, you will give every excuse not to go to the gym.
Yep,
And
yep,
the people that are successful in the gym are the people that show up anyway, that show up on the
absolutely.
bad days, the sad days, the 10% days. And so I always encourage that. Everybody gets a mobility routine from me. And so that's kind of the catalyst, is to find a few movements, maybe like 5 to 10 easy movements that you feel like you can commit to basically every day, because you should be moving your joints, your muscles, your body every single day. I'm
Mhm,
not really one that encourages going hard in the gym 7 days a week at all. You definitely need recovery, but
yeah,
you should be moving. You should be walking. You should be stretching. You should be doing
mhm,
mobility stuff. Like, most people are so stagnant and already sit so much of their day that we don't really need
mhm,
rest days. Okay. Every day of your life is a rest day.
yep,
We hit
you
10,000 steps and we're like, "Woo, woo." I'm like,
yeah,
"That's, like, normal in other
clock it,
countries."
clock
Yeah,
Ah,
it.
that is, like, normal. So,
Mm,
let's, which is okay. I'm not saying that if you're unable to get 10,000 steps, like, that is a good goal to start with. And I would always encourage 1 to 3 days a week to start with strength training, depending on your like health and fitness level. If you're a true beginner who has chronic issues, who has chronic pain, who has injuries, stuff like that, you probably only need to start like 1 day a week, just because your body needs to learn how to adapt and how to recover. And that's not a skill, especially as a woman, that we are just able to do. Testosterone and all of the hormones that you guys have as men give you the ability to recover a lot faster, you know, as far as like strength training goes in most cases. And so for women and even for beginner men, 1 to 3 days max. And like you said, listen to your body. And we always start with foundational movements. What I find mostly is that people don't actually know how to safely move their body, and I mean safe in a way that's for them and their specific anatomy. A lot of people are taught how to squat, maybe like in high school or by another trainer. And the method that they teach, I never shame inherently, but most people mechanically are not moving or squatting correctly. So that's a big portion of what we cover, which is like the hinge pattern movement, your ability to get your hips behind you without bending your knees, and then how to push and pull and leverage your weight. So we go over those foundational movements first with dumbbells. We never introduce barbells. You can lift traditionally more with a barbell than a dumbbell, but I would highly encourage everyone, especially men, if you are benching heavy with a barbell and you cannot lift heavy with the same weight dumbbell divided in half, you can injure your shoulders. So think about all those stability muscles that support the weight. So like that's why when you're benching, a lot of people tear their rotator cuffs and stuff because they're unable to actually stabilize that weight to begin with. So we build through dumbbells, and then we introduce some cable and machine movements just because they are a little like safer, and machines people are more inept to do on their own outside of our session. So I want them to get comfortable setting them up, what they feel like, what they sound like, you know, so they're less scary. And then once they feel confident, then we can transition to like more complicated movements. I have a lot of people that come to me and they go, "Oh my gosh, I thought personal training was going to be so scary." And it's definitely not. And I'm like, "Okay, great. That's what we want." No, it shouldn't
Yes.
feel scary. You should never go to a trainer and feel like they killed you
Yep.
unless that is your goal with them
Yeah,
personally.
that's true.
Unless you're
That's
seeing
true.
Brian Torres. Sorry. You know who you are.
Whatever, dude. No, that is, yeah, those movements definitely are important. I think one of the most difficult one for people to pick up, like right off the bat, is the hip hinge, which is like one of the most important ones.
Exactly. And it's
And
so protective of the back and the knees. So
yeah, exactly. And
yeah.
then after I teach people how to do it, they're like, "Oh man, whenever I was working, like they used to tell me to lift like this, but I didn't understand it."
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, dude, like gotta get those hips back.
Yep.
Throw it back.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
can't say that though, but
that's kind of hard,
Find it.
you know. Yeah.
My training style is a little bit wild. I've been trying to figure out how to film the way that I coach and train because it's a little cheeky, like which is what my clients love. I
There
mean,
you
it's
go.
very like
Yep.
stick, very every time that a trainer comes to shadow me, they go, "Wow, I've never seen a trainer like you." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
You're welcome.
that's
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Yes, that's
Yeah, you're
awesome.
yeah, hey, you're always gonna learn something because I do
Absolutely.
physical therapy plus personal like strength training. So that's my training style. So you're gonna be doing a lot of kind of weird things on top
Yeah.
of just traditional movements.
Well, good.
No, yeah, I feel like me and you have the same kind of approach to training. Because I think I was looking at your thing. You have like strength, mobility, and some other stuff. That's pretty much what I focus on is just making sure everything's good before we move on. Slow and steady wins the race. We
Yep.
ain't trying to freaking go ego lift or something like Brian does all the time.
Oh my
But
goodness.
No, no, chill. The first rule was my first rule is, hey, you better leave that ego at the door. You better leave that ego at the door, and then come on in, because that's one thing I cannot stand. Okay, this is your first day, maybe your first week, and you're trying to lift heavy. We ain't doing that. I tell them you got to
I used
graduate.
to lift this in high school, bro. I'm fine. I got
I
this.
literally just said this earlier.
yep.
I'm, bro,
Got this.
no, this is today. That was 5 years ago, if not 10 years. Who knows how
20
long that was?
years ago. 20
Thank
years
you.
ago. Let's be for
Exactly.
real.
So no, you're gonna
Yeah,
graduate. Once
let's
you
get back.
graduate from this weight, we'll go to this weight. Until you
Yep.
Yeah,
graduate from this weight, you ain't getting to this weight. And a lot of people are
Yep.
like, nah, bro, I can do this. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna see you tomorrow if you try to do that weight.
that's
And
true.
You're gonna be
they
That's
try to,
true.
psychotic that you're out.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
happens too, is people will try to go in there and keep up with whoever they're working out with or try
Negative.
yeah,
to do what they used to do. And then the next day they don't want to get up out of bed or they're, not moving.
yeah,
They're
Yep.
like, okay, I'm not going back.
yeah, no.
Yep.
No, man.
And that's
That's
why,
why
like
we
You
I
don't
said,
start
have to kill
slow.
yourself right off the bat.
I'm pretty
Build that
Mhm.
strict with
routine.
that. You got to stick here. Once I know you can graduate from that weight, we're gonna go up here. But until I see you do this, you ain't moving here because then you ain't gonna be back tomorrow if you go here. I
Yep.
guarantee you. So I mean, it's a big deal. That's why I say like leave your ego at the door. Don't worry about what my weight is. Don't worry about what this guy's weight is. We're here focusing on what you're doing right now. This is your first day, if not your first week. Don't worry about anybody, and nobody's looking at you. Okay? I usually got to slap them.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah,
People feel like they're getting judged, and I talked about this before, but even my boy, he wasn't comfortable with doing push-ups or something like that because he went working out with me one day. We were on the side. I was like, "All right, let's do some push-ups." He knows how to do push-ups. I was like, "Let's just get a few done, blah blah. Let's do this and that." And he would not do them. I was like, "Really, dude?" He's like, "No, they're gonna laugh at me." I was like, "Who's looking at you,
Ooh.
man?
yeah,
Who's
Yeah,
looking
everyone's
at
looking
you?"
at themselves. They're paying
yeah.
attention to themselves, thinking the same exact thing. Like, are they looking at me? Oh my gosh, are they judging
Unless
me?
it's
Yeah.
me,
I
I'm
was like,
Like,
usually making a
okay.
statement. I'm usually hollering in there. It's just
"That's
trying to
good."
get people to look at me, so that's a different story. But for anybody else, they're not looking. I mean, I gotta holler for people to try to look at me, but
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
nobody looking at you. Even when you holler,
Yeah, nobody's
like
looking at
everybody's
you.
used to me hollering, so nobody even cares no more. Like, "That's just Brian. Don't worry about him."
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, you ain't here for them, you're there
Exactly.
for yourself,
Exactly.
so
Yep.
you're there to get better, so
Yep.
focus on
And if
yourself.
the gym is scary, just try at home first.
There
That's
you
true.
go.
There's
That's
you
true.
can do so much working out at home. I have a ton of clients who only work out at home on their,
Yeah,
off time. So with me, so
yeah,
That's what
there's a
I tell
lot
a
of
lot of
stuff that's
people.
not expensive, like getting bands and small dumbbells. Shoot,
Mhm.
you don't
yep,
even need that stuff, you can just go body weight, and
yeah,
there's a lot of workouts you can do with that.
isometric,
Yeah.
yeah, single leg, single arm, yeah.
That's
Oh,
what I tell
yeah,
a lot of
doing
people
the
too. Just get the I send them a little workout at home. Go ahead and do that. And once you can do that, if you want to, you can come in. But by the time you get done with this in 30 days, I'm telling you, you're gonna want to come in here because I mean,
Yeah,
a
you're gonna
body
do
weight
want
something
is
a
different.
little
is
more. Yeah.
a body weight is so beneficial, especially starting off because you don't want to go in there and really not even be able. Because for me, I say you got to wake up the muscles. You got to wake them up. If you ain't been working out in a while, you got to wake these bad boys up. So the first week I usually take it really light, really, really light. Like I don't care if this is light for you, cool, sorry, bro. But let's get 10, everything. We just got to wake everything back up. Okay. And then next week we can start adding some more weight to it. But right now, all we're doing is we got to wake these bad boys up. You ain't used them in how many years? And you going to come in here and try to lift it? Boy, you better turn
Mm-mm,
around.
don't be doing
I
that.
think you forgot the sign on the door, leave that ego at the door. So
Well, I think
that's
that
why I always
that
tell
is
them, like,
it's people think they got the old man strength, and it just happens, so you can
that
just
old man strength
yeah.
don't just come out of
Hey,
nowhere.
old man strength is real, but it's earned. You have to
There
be
you
old
go.
man strength
Exactly.
only happens after about 20 years of lifting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, and that's an important thing that Brian was hitting on, even like warming up, whatever it is, doing some dynamic stretches and stuff like that to get those muscles warmed up. Where did he go? He's always look at that. This dang
internet.
I keep telling him, I was like, dude, you need to step your internet game up. Sheesh.
Can't be hosting no podcast.
Seriously, man, what's wrong with you? So all right, like yeah. So what are your favorite exercises? What do you personally do you enjoy doing?
My gosh, that's such a hard question. Um, okay. Let me think about this. So I would say let me just go by like kind of like muscle-ish group because I'm like, that's way too I can't just do that.
Yeah, I can't just have one
um,
favorite child.
yeah, I can't pick one. So for like arms and like chest and all that, I love like either negative pull ups or negative push ups, like really slow
Oh,
and
wow.
controlled
I
eccentric
Good.
love
man.
that. Love that.
Oh hey, welcome
Big
back.
fan of the negative. That's another thing I
Yeah,
try to tell a lot of folks is because they're like, "Oh, I can't do this weight." When we're progressed a little bit further, that's okay. I want you to focus on going down. Just that's all we're worried about. Even with the pull ups. Okay, that's okay. Let's get up here and then just come down. Just slow. That's all we're doing. I'm telling you, I love that.
Hey,
So
man,
great job there. Go ahead.
yeah,
yeah, dude.
thanks. And then if anyone's unable to do like a traditional pull up still, I like just a suspension trainer row or something like that, which
Okay.
is nice. And then for legs, I love anything single leg. A lot of people favor one side or another, and they get really scared of single leg movements because they're like, I can't get on one leg, but you actually can. It's actually way easier to do single leg movements than people think that it is. So like a single leg, heel elevated glute bridge, that's an easy introduction. A straight leg staggered stance squat where you basically are only using one leg but squatting to a box. I love anything like that. Anything that is really targeting actual stability, which is like a Copenhagen plank. I don't know if you're familiar with ballerina split squats, but I love those.
No, what are those?
So you put your like knee on a box or a bench, and then you put one leg out to the side like a plie. Are you familiar with the plie movement in ballet?
Great.
So
One
it's like
day, I
one
got a daughter,
knee.
so one day.
Yeah, so one knee up, one leg out to the side. So you're doing like a split squat, but you're not your toes aren't facing forward, they're facing out. So your
Ah,
Kinda like a
knee
cursive
tracks
squat.
out over your toe like a plie, and it works your adductors. So most
Yeah.
people have extremely weak adductors.
Mhm.
And so even if you're doing like traditional adductor machine, you're still missing the aspect of stability between the knee and the hip, which is where those come in and where the Copenhagen planks come in. So I really like those a
I like
lot.
the Copenhagen, yeah.
And then I don't know. I like really kind of weird ones like stability ball tucks and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's a
oh,
girl.
sheesh. Oh, whoa, whoa.
I was like, oh, I don't know if any of that's specifically for girls. I didn't say hip thrusts and
That's true.
sit-ups.
That's true. Or
Well,
the
yeah,
go
that's
ahead.
no thank you. Because that's,
Oh
How
no,
about you
yeah.
come
See,
do a workout with me?
yeah, Brian.
We'll film it. Hey, you guys come to the gym. We'll film a
Dude,
whole
that's
session. We'll put you
perfect.
guys
And of
through a
course, the
workout.
only
Hey,
guy
I'm
in
in
Oklahoma is
Colorado. I
me.
can't make it, but
The
Brian's over
only
there.
guy in Oklahoma is me, so cool. Talk shit, boy.
Hey,
Well,
we'll zoom you in. You can get at your gym and you can work out with him at the same time.
Yeah.
You don't come visit him in Oklahoma?
yeah, yeah.
There you go.
No, I'm gonna stop
We'll
lying
make
to
it
her.
pencil
He
it
don't
in.
visit me.
Okay. Anyways, so we're
Well,
going
moving
into
on.
Brian. Can you do a pistol squat?
I probably can now. I'm gonna try it. I got you.
Can you do one?
I can almost do one.
Do
Dude, I was trying to
I
perfect
had
those.
a knee injury like a couple of years ago. That's kind of what introduced me to Corrective before I started all this. So
Perfect.
Oh,
we're
okay.
that's pretty good. Can you do
Nope.
one?
Yeah, I can. I don't think I can.
That's
I
it.
don't have room here. There's a
Oh,
picture of me on
coward.
Instagram. I did.
No, that was
That-
like 2
that-
years ago. Okay, high school.
That was
Come on.
last year, dude.
He's like, do it.
But
Get up
no,
and do it, boy.
what I was practicing was I was trying to get the dragon. What is it called? Like
Oh,
the
the
dragon
dragon
squat.
squat. I can't. That's
That's
next level.
crazy. I
I
tried
feel like
doing that.
you're
I almost got
deflecting
it.
right now. Are you deflecting? This is, I learned this.
He's
I
like,
learned this
okay,
in
peer
counseling. It's
pressure.
called deflecting. Come on.
Good job.
You gotta come up. Nope.
I did
Nope.
it, dude. I blew up.
I
had a little
saw
bit of
a
help
girl at the gym doing pistol squats on a Bosu ball with
Yeah.
a kettlebell on her foot. I was like, "What in the acrobat is going on?"
Yeah.
I was just staring at her the whole time. I'm sorry. I am gonna look at you in the gym
Yeah.
if you're doing.
Don't mind
That's
me
true.
over here. I'm just.
That's true.
Yeah. It was out of admiration though. I was just like,
Yeah.
the amount of control and strength that took. I was like, that is crazy.
That's crazy. That's awesome though. That's amazing.
No, that's One day I'll be there. I'm gonna have like a barbell over my
Okay,
head.
so time
and
out. Time
pistol
out. We're
squat.
gonna clip this right now. What are you gonna do?
Oh, anyways, next thing I want to talk about was
We're gonna go back.
are you more of a coffee or tea person?
Actually, neither. I'm a matcha girl.
Matcha.
Yeah,
like
I
Brian.
don't really do.
Brian's a
I don't
matcha
drink
girl, too.
caffeine. That was something
I'm
I
a
cut out a while ago, but I do like a good matcha every once in a while.
Okay, matcha. I don't think
Yeah.
I've tried it, honestly.
But I do like a good like Earl Grey or something like that if I drink a tea, which is
I feel like
nice.
that's like an old person's thing.
I'm kind of an old person at heart.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Omar, calm down. Calm down now. Okay? You're getting carried away now. Calm
I'm
down.
sorry.
This is a guest.
So
This is a guest on our podcast.
I can take it. Don't worry.
no, it wasn't meant to be like that. Okay, I'm just because
It's okay, dude. Come on. I think we're all having fun here.
So what is one fitness myth that you want to debunk?
That you should be doing intermittent fasting or any kind of fasting most of the time, or that you should be following any influencer on Instagram's fitness advice, period.
Says the
Ooh,
influencer.
I'm not an
spicy.
influencer. I am
Well,
a certified, educated professional who just so happens
Ooh,
to make social media content.
come on.
I like
Come
it.
on.
There you go. There you go. Is that the thing
You
that
better clock it, girl.
Um, yeah. I was
No,
like,
well, that's true because that kind of stuff is not for everybody, especially if you have something undiagnosed. It gets a little bit scary.
Yep, yep,
Uh,
yeah,
yep.
they're just
I think.
programming for the masses, for the
Yep.
healthy, for the assumed athlete or assumed person familiar in the gym. I have personally signed up and used Instagram influencers. Hello, I'm a 30-year-old woman that didn't work out until her late 20s. So I've done all of it. I've gone through all of the paths, and like they use the same copy and paste program for every single person, which no tea, no shade, but traditionally most people have muscle imbalances, overworked muscles, tight muscles, underdeveloped areas that so they don't really need to be following the same generalized program in general, and especially if they're paying big money for it. If you want to go
Yep.
and get like a little, free Google workout, well, yeah, of course, like go for it. But if you're paying a professional, you should be getting like what you pay for. And that's a big
Absolutely.
issue with fitness industry, is that it kind of became this huge craze and everybody wanted in on it. And so if you look really hot and you're really muscular and you have,
Hey,
like a
hey, quit
following,
talking about me.
you can sell anything that you want and people will buy it. And even though it's not really curated for you, it's not anything that's like,
Yeah.
designed for you. So that's a big myth, is like, just because somebody is good in the gym or looks really fit does not mean they know what they're doing or they should be coaching or training.
Mm-hmm.
And the intermittent fasting one is just because, especially women, if you look at our hormone cycles, intermittent fasting isn't necessarily really supportive of that. And a lot of women struggle with binge eating and restrictive eating and eating disorders. So
Yeah.
encouraging intermittent fasting just creates this whole other mental cycle and around food. So what we really need to be encouraging is listening to hunger cues, body awareness, and providing meals for every part of the day instead of saying,
Yeah.
well, just try fasting. It
Yeah.
might work for men. And I do think that some people do benefit from it, but
Mhm.
for especially women, intermittent fasting probably ain't for you, girl.
Oh wow.
And you shouldn't feel like a failure if it's not for you.
Yeah.
Know your body.
Oh
Know your
yeah, for
body.
sure. Yeah, exactly. And that's some good information because I see
Absolutely.
that. I mean, I've trained ladies before, but not to that extent of dialing in their diet because, yeah, I'm not familiar with how everything works in that aspect. So I can't tell somebody, eat this or eat that. I can give you a caloric budget, a macro split that could fit that budget, but everything else is just like, shoot,
Yep.
I don't know.
And
I
nutrition
don't
is
feel
such a
too
big
comfortable.
portion. That's why I am in school right now to be a registered dietitian, because I originally was doing physical therapy. And I was like, I'm already capable of basically doing this job in and of itself, kind of as a physical therapist. But what are we lacking? Nutrition.
There you
Doctors
go.
don't know nutrition. Humans don't know nutrition. Like, we just kind of wake up
Yeah.
and exist, and we have no idea what we're putting in our body. We don't know how to read a nutrition label. So that was a big area where I saw that we needed like drastic improvements. Plus, I don't really personally agree with the more standardized American diet of like ultra processed grains and stuff. And so with that, like, coaching food is all about fiber and protein for me, which
Mm.
is, we don't really talk about fiber enough.
That's true.
Oh
And
my God.
me and my wife, I think it was a few months ago,
Yep.
we started looking into it and investigating like, okay, do we have enough fiber throughout the day? Because I mean, we do pretty well nutritionally. We do home meals and stuff, but fiber, we were missing fiber. And sheesh,
Mhm.
dude, like we
And
were
it's
way
really
behind.
crazy. If you start tracking your fiber without tracking any other macro, you would probably hit every other macro. You would hit your protein and your carbs. I promise. You probably wouldn't even have to track protein if you track
Oh
fiber.
wow.
Well,
I'm gonna have to try
interesting.
that because I know my fiber is
Yeah.
probably not nowhere near where it needs to be. So
It
that's
definitely is, dude.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. Like, just try to add in fiber in every meal through like a whole-ish grain, like a quinoa, I don't know,
Yeah.
sweet potato, something like that, or beans. That's a really easy and great way to add protein and fiber into your diet. Lentils, flax seed, you can add it if I
Yep.
don't know if you're like into granola, smoothies, yogurt parfaits, whatever, you can add it into that.
I add chia seeds to my smoothies in the morning.
Try flaxseed, ground flaxseed.
Yes, that's what my wife said too. I think I tried it one time. I don't know. I'm one of those people
It's
that once I
weird
get into a
texture.
routine, it's like it's
It's a
hard to get
weird
out of it.
texture, but you gotta, like, drink it fast or
Yeah,
it
that's
gets
what it is. It was the texture.
coagulated. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Yeah, Brian, so get you some flax seeds.
I really am. I wrote it down here, so I'm gonna get some flax seeds because
There
Yeah,
you
I'll
go.
send you, my little recipe that I use.
will you
I have
Oh,
a little
please?
nice.
cooking card for it.
I'm putting it down flat.
Yeah, we need to sign up for that dang newsletter.
You know what?
Yeah.
I actually stopped this year.
Oh,
I'm working on a book, so that's been my
oh,
creative outlet. So,
nice.
So
I took a break from the newsletter. I'm working on a dysautonomia work guidebook for people that are either struggling with managing their symptoms or newly diagnosed. It's like a really, I don't know, like 14 chapter book of how to navigate it, how to get help, how to advocate for yourself, what
Oh,
labs
wow.
to get, how to track your symptoms, what
Oh,
supplements
wow.
to take, kind of that whole thing. So that's what I've been putting my
Dang, that's
creative energy.
awesome.
I love my newsletters. I designed them all in Canva and stuff. It was a cool graphic design outlet, like
That's
spreading
awesome.
information for free, but I didn't get as much engagement, from them
Yeah.
as I was hoping. And so I just
Mhm.
thought that my time would be better spent. But they're all on Facebook, all the newsletters. I uploaded
Okay.
every copy for a year. So you can always go back
Oh,
and
that's
look at
cool.
them. Yeah.
Dang. No,
That's
yeah, I'm the
awesome.
same way. Like, I'm not as consistent with it anymore because, again, like you said, I wasn't getting like any feedback or, I guess engagement, and I was just like, dude, I'm putting in this work.
Well,
Like, this
hours.
is
Yeah.
this is extra work with
Yeah.
like you with Canva designs. I'm not creative like that, so it takes extra brain
You guys
power
a
for
lot of
that.
thought. Uh-huh.
But no, the stuff that you do is awesome. I
Thanks.
mean, like I was telling Brian, I was like, dude, she's somebody that she's in it for the right reasons. Like she's got the heart to
Mhm.
help people.
Yeah, I
So
love
that
Glad you
that.
that's why I
guys
was
see that. That's definitely been my message from the start. Like, I want people to just have information that is safe and
Yeah.
that they can trust and that's reliable because, it's hard to navigate health information on the internet. And
Mhm.
this is researched, this is, vetted, this is proven. This is not just like a bunch of false misinformation that
exactly.
to make a
Yeah,
quick buck, and I'm not really selling anything. Obviously, if anybody would like to get training by me, that's I guess what I sell, but I'm not really selling anything inherently. I'm not
Mhm.
don't you don't have to buy a supplement for me. You don't have to buy anything I'm saying, it's all there, all for free. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Shout out to
And
but
that's
just
you.
what we.
imagine this information and just imagine how much more you get as my client. This
Come
is
That's
on.
just a
true.
very surface level thing. I
That's what
mean,
I'm talking about. That's
we
what I'm
go over
talking about.
everything. I would say like I'm borderline a life coach at this point. I don't know if I think you guys are both trainers. Or I'm assuming so. You kind of get the aspect of like
Yeah.
I know everything. I know everything about everyone's business. Love to just let it all in, and so
Yep.
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 I'm like,
Yep.
we're life okay, how can we navigate life? How can we, do food and supplements and sleep and relationships and all that?
That's
I
true.
love that. That's
And that's what
awesome.
we try to do on this podcast is give that, information because it is hard to, just get on Google and find the results that you want or whatever it is. I
Yep.
want this to be a space where, what's the realistic, the holistic approach to certain things. Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll probably dig into some other alternatives that, supplementation and things like that. But at the end of the day, what's the best approach for you personally? Like, because we keep putting this on there is everybody's different. And
Mhm.
dude, just this information is gonna help a lot of people. And
Absolutely.
we appreciate you being on here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And look,
thank
Holy
you guys for
smokes.
having me here. This has been awesome,
yeah.
fun. I'm
Yeah.
glad to like share as much as I can. It's cool to
Yeah.
get my voice, obviously for more people to hopefully hear something that encourages them or,
Mhm.
doesn't make them feel so alone.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
and that
that's
was
a
a big
big one
thing
too
there.
is
Yep. 'Cause a lot
people
of people,
people
like, let's
probably
say they do
don't.
their research or try to do the research and they kinda hit a dead end, they feel like, but they'll sometimes see this. They're like, "Oh, hold on, what did she just say? She felt this, she felt that? Hold on." And just having that light almost going off for them. Because 'cause I've had people who I've ran into who'd be like, "Man, what you guys said on that podcast, what I heard on there was truly like I was in a dark space and it really helped me out. So I'm hoping, and I know it
I love
will,
that.
for people who, maybe going through the same situation you have been going through or have gone through that can hear this and that'll help them, be that light at the end of the tunnel for them to be like, you know what, that's exactly what I was feeling. And they thought I was crazy, they thought I was this. But thank you so much to Katarina for helping me out with
Dang,
this.
Other
boy.
I can't get it right. I tried and I couldn't do it. Okay, I tried.
You're going for it. I appreciate it. Yeah, and
That's
my DMs on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you can find me, whatever social media, they're always open. I have tons of people always sending me messages on there, asking questions, just wanting someone, a friend, someone to talk to. We're a really isolated generation. We don't
Yeah.
have any support. Everybody feels really alone. Because we're always on our phones. And so if you are feeling alone and you have any questions, I'm sure you guys will link whatever, but you guys can look me up, Katarina Hill. I'm
Yeah.
easy to
I was
find
about to
on
say,
there.
yeah, we're gonna have to get all your information so we can put it on the description so people can reach out because yeah, like Brian said, somebody might be able to relate to this and be like,
Yeah,
oh
and I have
shoot.
so much info just readily available on social media for free that's all about symptoms on anything that we've talked
Oh,
about. So if you
That's
just
awesome.
scroll, there's tons of stuff on there.
Love that.
dang, that's
Shout
awesome.
out to you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Didn't
Trying,
doesn't
you
have
guys.
the
I'm number 31 as a Oklahoma City influencer according to this list I
Come
have on
on.
Google.
oh,
She about to be number
oh,
one. Come on.
let's go.
Too scared to say your
Let's
name
get it.
now, so I can't say your name or whatever.
Uh,
Yeah, that's true. Look at him. No,
Aren't
and
you?
that's another
Isn't this like Katarina? It's like your heritage, right?
I don't.
oh yeah,
Well, this
yeah,
guy obviously
that's
he's
true.
illiterate,
That's
so
true.
don't worry about him.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, he said my name just fine,
I did say it
actually.
right, dude. I said it
Yeah,
right. I said
he
it
said it
right.
right the first
No,
time.
me. I'm illiterate.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, okay, okay. I was about to say, dude.
he's
No,
like,
but
wait, warm me up in this.
that's what's awesome about even, this podcast is we're here to support each other. I mean, other trainers,
Yeah, I
other
love
health
it. I love what you guys are
experts.
doing. I watched a bunch of the episodes before I came on here, shared it with a few of my clients. So I was like, this is
Awesome.
cool.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna keep on getting better. I think this episode it's been awesome.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Thank you.
Well,
And
let
there's
me know
gonna
if
be
you
a
ever
lot
want
of
me back
stuff.
on. I'm a yapper, so that's
Absolutely.
what I like
There
to
we go.
do.
Yeah.
There we go. Might have to do that. Maybe we'll do like a live or something like
Oh, she
that.
talks too much.
So
Oh,
see,
oh. Can
Brian
she still
Brian
hear
likes
us?
the spotlight. Brian likes the
Yeah,
spotlight,
she's
so
still in
you're
my
taking it away
spotlight,
from
man.
him. See,
No, I'm kidding. I'm
he's
kidding.
getting a little
I was
jelly.
absolutely. We would love to have you back. I do. I would love to.
No, because that is
Yeah.
something that we talked about. Well, for me, because I work at the YMCA here in
Oh,
Colorado,
cool. Hawaii is a great
and
place.
we have other personal trainers that have been on, but my goal is to narrow it down and have the trainers specifically, have like a Q&A situation where they go
I
into
love
certain
that.
subjects. Like for
Yeah.
you would go into like PODS and EDS and all that stuff because people might, have
Whole
more
lot of them.
questions that
Yeah.
we didn't cover here or they can't find or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet to do that. But yeah, two other trainers too. That'd be,
Yeah,
dialing
or
in.
corrective exercise. I don't know if you guys delve much on that, but
Yeah.
I definitely specify and I've healed multiple injuries, dozens and dozens of injuries at this
Oh
point.
yeah.
So if you have shoulders, knees, ankles, backs,
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, that's like my clientele is a bunch of broken people. I mean, they're
Yep.
awesome and they're doing better. They're doing
Yeah.
better,
Yeah, it's great.
but
That's
it's
what we're here
because
for.
I was
That's what we're here
also
for.
a broken person. I rode
Same.
bulls, so all the injuries and
Oh,
stuff like that.
wow.
So I know how to
Freaking time today.
navigate through all those. What, dude? Okay, I just went to nationals and state and stuff, and
Okay, here we
I'm
go.
proud about that.
but no,
Hey, tell me, why did you
just
start
having that.
riding bulls, Omar?
That's true. I don't want to talk about it, dude. We see that, dude. See that?
I
You're
want
lucky
the
I'm not over
spotlight,
there,
bro.
dude. You get
Okay,
freaking.
sorry.
At least
No,
you're
yeah, that's true. But yeah, for sure, we need to have you back on
Yeah.
and dig more into that stuff because, shoot, dang, you
This is
covered a
awesome.
lot of good stuff.
I appreciate it.
Good
great.
things.
Yeah. Wealth of
Appreciate
knowledge.
you. Yeah.
It's like my hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
I know, right? Like we're never gonna stop learning. Like there's always gonna
Never.
be something, and that's
Yeah.
good. Some people think they know it all, and that's
No.
how they get stunted. You got to be open to
Mhm.
learn, Brian. You don't know
from
everything.
everyone.
Well, I feel like
You
I
don't
I
know
don't
everything.
I didn't know everything, but I felt like, "Oh, I know enough. I'm good." Like, but now I feel like I've
See what
changed where I'm like
happens?
like, "I want it all. I want it all. Give me more." I'm like a sponge
There we
now. I
go.
want it all. I want it. Give me
There we
that.
go.
Give me this. I'll take anything and everything. I'm more open-minded. Again, I never said I knew everything, but I feel like I was more closed off to like, I'm cool. I don't wanna know more about that. But now it's like, "Oh, wow. Hold on. That did that? This does that. Okay, come on. Bring it to me now."
No, that's another thing. Physical therapy. You said you were into that for a little bit, not anymore, more
Yeah.
towards a
So I
registered
was
dietitian.
that was my major, so I did a few of, like, the, physical therapy classes and stuff, but shadowed physical therapists. It's,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's fallen victim to the same methodologies
Oh
of
man.
traditional doctors where it's kinda like get them in, get them out. They spend maybe 5 to 10 minutes with you, they give you a list of movements,
See
and then
that?
just send you home. And
That's true.
so for
That's
me,
true.
I was like, well, I don't want to go to college and spend all this money to get caught because I originally was like going to be like a medicine doctor. Because I'm like, how when you're like desperate to help people, you're like, how can I help more people? Take insurance, like build a practice, get exposure. You have to get more
Yep.
education to
Yep.
help more people to expand your network. So I was like, okay, great. Well, I'm not into the Western medicine traditional medicine path. So I'm like, okay, great. I love moving my body. I'm already into this like physical therapy. Well, go shadow clinics and it's just like and then personally have a physical therapist and I'm just like, well, I don't like that either. I've had way more luck hiring private trainers, corrective exercise specialists, even chiropractors, stuff like that, and paying for services that give me help versus any time I've ever gone to like a doctor. And so yeah, that's kind of
Well,
what drew me away from that path was like you can go to so many other people to get the same help as a physical therapist. Even trainers, I feel like personal trainers have helped me more and have helped more people in the long term run of their life because we meet with them so much and we pay so much
Yeah.
attention to the mechanics of their body. Like we catch a lot of stuff that the physical therapists aren't catching. So registered dietitian allows me to accept insurance and see more people and practice in a way that I believe in. It's not really as strict or structured now as like a traditional physical therapist is.
See, that's my goal because I'm getting into a physical therapy program. I'm gonna start in this fall, and my goal is to be like you saying, it's like not so structured in a way where you feel like you have to be this way, but also as a certified personal trainer, if I have time, I don't know, but being able to also put that aspect or build a team around the physical therapy of trainers that can keep that consistency because, like you said, they'll get you in and out and shoot, are people really doing the stuff at home? I don't
No,
know.
they're not.
Exactly. But
That's
with the
why they're
trainer,
injured.
yeah, but as a trainer, you see them more often
mhm.
where then you're gonna see the results that you really need. So that's my goal. With Cheers to Health, with everything, one day to have like
Yeah, I
some
love
kind of
this.
performance
Mhm.
center. So, but no, that's some good input because even when I go into a program, I don't want to get guided into the wrong direction of okay, now I'm just freaking pushing people in and out.
Just keep patients first and don't care about the money. And I would probably avoid a clinic, but hopefully you'll have good luck finding a job or opening your own practice.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the goal. And I mean, like, I don't know if it's like that in Oklahoma, but even at the YMCA, there's a physical therapist, and he does free consultations.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, he doesn't have to do any insurance or anything like that. You can, and then he pays. I think they're building packages too. They got a wellness room in there now, so they got all like the modalities of like red sauna,
That's
um,
Oh
nice.
yeah,
massage
yeah,
chairs,
yeah.
cryo chairs, all this stuff, which is like a combo of like, okay, we got that. And then on top of that, keeping a close relationship with the trainers. So that's like pretty much like my freaking goal right there. They got it right there. So I got an idea. So maybe,
Yeah, I love
I'll
it.
fall back to coming back and working for the Y as a physical therapist and kind of building a foundation with that.
Yeah, and they treat their
Mhm.
employees really nice, I've heard.
Yeah, yeah. No, they're awesome. At first I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm gonna be working at the Y. But nah, they've been great. Plus childcare. You said childcare. One of the biggest things that people make excuses for is because they have a kid.
Mhm.
And they
I
can't
bring my
go?
kid with me. She's gone with me since day one. I've literally worked out with her in every aspect. I've warned her. She's crawled around on the gym floor. She works out with me now. She literally is, does group fitness classes. Like,
Oh,
she's 7. So I'm like,
Come
you
on.
have to make your kids move their body with you, and
yes. Yep.
you can't let them be your excuse. That's
There
not
you
fair to
go.
them or to you. Kids
Yep.
cannot be your
Exactly.
excuse.
Yep.
You guys are just gonna resent each other and be like, "Oh, well."
Mhm.
Yep.
Nah.
Because of you,
That's
you know.
why that we talked about this last week where the Y has like all these background checks and stuff like that to make sure your kids are in good hands and shoot.
Mhm.
So I mean, go to the gym, bring your kids. They
Workout will
got
come with you. You can do it
yeah.
right on the living room floor. You don't even
Yes,
have to leave your
exactly. They got freaking YouTube videos now
Yes,
where you can do
yes.
some workouts in front of there.
Literally dance classes, yoga classes, everything is on YouTube for free. Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty. Katarina, I appreciate you coming on here
Yeah,
and
guys, thank
Katarina.
you.
taking your
So
time.
much fun. I'm proud of you,
You
Brian.
did it.
That's good.
You did it. You
Katarina.
did
I
it.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
Appreciate you. Like I said, we're gonna put your stuff down in the
Mhm.
descriptions.
Yeah, I'll send it
And
to you,
oh, sweet.
here, all my stuff, yeah.
Appreciate it. Make it a little bit more smooth because I'll get distracted and stuff, and I'll be like, oh shoot.
Oh,
But
yeah, what
no, yeah, seriously. But no, awesome stuff.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Brian, you need to chill out next time. You're getting too crazy. But other than that,
It's his
cheers
little
to health.
Viva Vendetta, mustache he got going on.
It's the mustache, man. What can I say?
It's the mustache. It's the
The little goatee.
mustache. You're crazy,
But,
dude. Oh, hang on, let me
okay.
see.
Cheers to
Okay.
health.